Hey everybody, Nick here, and today I got a video for you doing disassembly and maintenance on this little guy right here. This is the CJRB Centros. So, interesting knife. I'll go ahead and take it apart. I kind of suspect it'll be relatively straightforward. That was me being not a brilliant man, not the fault of the knife there. But anyways, let's see. Looking like T8 here, and it's same on both sides, although that doesn't seem to be turning, so... yeah, here we go. It looks like that side is non-free spinning. This is, of course, a valuable life lesson. If you're trying to turn a screw, don't just keep torquing. Turn the screw, and then if it doesn't turn, then go on ahead and stop turning and try the other side. Sometimes that's easier. And if life made any sense, well, actually, life doesn't make any sense. What I'm thinking right now is, and by the way, the centering before I took it apart was roughly good to go, and action was fine, but could be a little faster. But what I'm thinking now is that, usually what I'll do is I'll try and take things apart from one side, where I'll take but if I take these two screws out, I'll actually need to take off the clip as well. So what I'm kind of thinking I might do instead, just under the principle of minimizing the number of screws that I have the potential to strip, I will go ahead and try and take off do sort of a flip-flop disassembly here, and take off the screws on this side at the lower on in the knife, and organizing those out. Come on, pop loose. There we go. And what we can see here is that the knife is slowly coming apart. Let's go on ahead and start lifting this off. Good. Okay, so now at this point we have this whole unit. Holy crap, is this thing oily. Wow. Okay, so we have ourselves a little bit of an oil spill here, but that's okay. We can live with this. But anyways, and then there is this little backspacer lanyard hole sort of thing, which, great, no problem there. Let's go on ahead and start by degreasing the whole affair here. Let's grab some little swatches of fabric here. And if you're ever curious about any of the tools I use to disassemble and maintain my tools, go on ahead and check out nickshabazz.com/tools. That'll show you exactly what I'm using when. But anyways, I'm just using a little rubbing alcohol right here to go on ahead and clear off the oil here to degrease. 91% isopropanol. Actually, a buddy of mine, a good fan, guy named Steve, recently informed me that turns out different kinds of alcohol have different effects in sterilization of surfaces. This is unrelated to the knife at the moment, but I'm just cleaning grease off, so why not, right? He was telling me, and maybe I'm getting this wrong, let me know in the comments if I am, but that apparently for cleaning surfaces, cleaning surfaces, 71% rubbing alcohol is better, except for degreasing, as I'm doing, but for sterilizing wounds, I think 91%. Either way, there is a difference between them. I always just assumed that it was the case that one of them was strictly worse, and they just decided, you know what, let's make two things. That's kind of an irrational viewpoint to have, right? The grocery and pharmaceutical industry can't be entirely stupid, but I am, so that's what I thought. So, yeah, that's something I'm... it's always nice to learn new things, right? Learning is crucial. What I'm doing here is I'm just cleaning off these parts here. I feel like I should describe it in more depth, but really there's not that much to describe. I'm just cleaning off, removing any thread locker, removing any oil here. Go ahead and use a new fabric there. I'm trying to finish off a bottle here, and so I'm dripping everywhere, which is not necessarily ideal, but hey, whatever. So clean this off. What we can see here is that this has a milled-in bearing race, and so I'm going to go ahead and pull the bearing. Oh, well, that didn't even need pull. Go ahead and pull that out of there. That way I can get in here and clean both sides quite nicely, because you do want to clean out that bearing race. I swear I've not been hitting the bottle at the moment. I am, well, actually not ever. I don't drink, but still, this is not, I'm feeling like not a brilliant man here today, but then again, I guess I feel like that every day. That's the nice thing about life. The more you learn, the dumber you feel. But the scary correlate, the Dunning-Kruger effect, is that the less you know, the smarter you think you are, generally. It's kind of an interesting little thing. But anyways, I digress. What are we doing here? I've cleaned off the two bearings pretty well. I want to get into this pivot hole as well as into the bearing race with a little bit of rubbing alcohol. And I'll go ahead and oh, that's right. I spilled a bunch all over my table, helpfully. So I'll just go on ahead and do that. See? Planning. Foresight. Stonks. Anyways, I digress. Let's go on ahead, clean this out, and then we'll get up in here. Get up in those corners here, just removing any last gunction, you know, making sure everything's good to go, cleaned out. This is a knife that was actually, you know, I'm hard to please lately. I'm hard to please generally, as any manufacturer who's ever looked at a review of my video or a review of their work I've done will tell you, but I'm especially hard to please lately. I'm a little jaded. There's been a lot of kind of uninteresting stuff come out on the market lately, and, you know, none of the big names have been dropping anything that was just like, oh my God, yes, please, please. And so I've been feeling kind of jaded, but this knife is actually one that I'm a little excited about. Not because itself, it's, you know, something that's so amazingly above and beyond where anyone else has gone, but it is a really solid choice for a price point. And that's always something that brings me joy. You know, a lot of folks think, you know, oh, Nick, you know, you only do really expensive stuff. You know, what are you doing? You know, why don't you ever review the budget stuff? Do you hate people with small budgets? Like, of course not. No, it's just the case that very often budget stuff tends to be less interesting. And I don't mean that in the sense of like it necessarily is. I mean that in the sense that very often people make budget stuff cheaply. That's very often how it gets to be budget, right? And so I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit of EDCI. It's a anti-corrosive sort of chemical onto this backside of the liner here. And drop that back into place. Anyways, so a lot of people kind of make the assumption that because I mostly look at a lot of higher-end pieces, a lot of expensive pocket knives and such, that I don't like budget reviews. And that actually nothing could be farther than the truth there. Well, actually, there are plenty of things that could be farther from the truth, but, you know, like I am a lizard man. That's very far from the truth. I'm not a lizard that I'm aware of. But maybe I wouldn't know. Anyways, I digress. But I actually very much do like finding budget gems. If I can find the budget knife, and I'm going to use some 10-weight nano oil here for the reassembly. If I can find the budget knife that is well designed, that's at a very good price point, and that really, you know, that could be a really great tool for a lot of people. As a matter of fact, that's some of the most exciting stuff I do on my channel, right? Because I'm well aware of the fact, as I think any reviewer needs to be, that actually at the end of the day, most people are not interested in terms of just like pure statistics. More people are going to be interested in a great $40 knife than a great, you know, $400 knife. There are many people in the world who might want the $400 knife, but the number of people for whom that is, you know, actually an option, where it is something that they could actually consider making a purchase of, that's substantially lower. And so anytime that I find something that is, oh, that fell out. Gravity happens, right? Underappreciated the gravity of the situation. By the way, note that there are shouldered standoffs here. There's a little bit of extra lathe work they had done to allow these to insert into the back holes rather than just sort of floating there. That's a little thing, but it's hugely helpful for aligning everything, making everything kind of work and fit into place here. Okay, one other thing to note is that there is a D shape to this pivot right here. And I actually just instinctively aligned it to face the same direction as, aligned the pivot to face the D shape in this cutout here, such that I can put this guy back together more smoothly. Have I forgotten anything? I have not. The scale slipped off, but that's okay. What I'm going to go ahead and do is use some blue Loctite. So anyways, when I was, as I'm putting this guy back together, finish the story, when I was at the gathering, USN gathering, G11, I happened to bump into the guy named Russell from Artisan Cutlery, who he and I had talked before at Blade Show. Seems like a very nice guy, very enthusiastic. And also the designer of this pocket knife right here, Dylan Mallory. See, right there, Dylan Mallory. Anyways, I bumped into both of them, and they were very, very excited to put this particular knife into my hand. Not necessarily, I mean, they didn't send it to me immediately and whatnot, but they just wanted my take, I suppose. Because, you know, I'd let them know earlier, you know, oh, yeah, it's who I am. But anyways, and I can kind of get why. This is a knife that I think for a lot of people will merit consideration. It sort of falls into that club of very inexpensive but very good-to-go little knives. I haven't fully carried it for review yet. Maybe I'm going to find some kind of a showstopper or something that's going to make me go like, oh, never mind on that. This one's far from the centro of your carrying plans. I don't know. But in practice, It's not bad at all. In practice, actually, this guy's pretty impressive and seems like a pretty solid little tool for the price. I'm going to go ahead and adjust the pivot just to make sure we're running, you know, at right tension. Not too heavy, not too loose, such that I get blade play, but not too tight, such that I don't get the good action there. Let's go ahead and loosen up a little further. Can I see if that works? Nope, now I got blade play. Go ahead and tighten up a little further. No play. Dead nut centered. That's good. And yeah, that'll do. So this is a very interesting little knife, and it's one that I've actually been sort of holding in reserve for a little while as a pick-me-up, so to speak. And a couple of pieces from, you know, a bunch of people out there. And, you know, this one I figured, okay, this is probably going to be good. So I'm going to enjoy this. I'm going to relish this one. So, indeed, that's my hope here, is that I will continue to like this piece throughout the review process, and I will have found a new budget gem to discuss. Pardon me, and share with the world. But there you go. That's how you take it apart and maintain it. Super easy, straightforward. Well done there, and hopefully this is interesting, and keep an eye out for the review coming to your channel here, well, my channel, I suppose, shortly. Have a good one, everybody. Bye now.